Saw this Reddit post where someone said their reflux symptoms were actually getting worse on meds, and when I seen their diet, it made total sense. I used to be in this same place thinking I was eating healthy foods and foods that were healing my gut until I started implementing exactly what I'm about to share with you. And this is how I healed 11 years of acid reflux naturally in under 60 days. So without further ado, let's dive into this Reddit post and break down what exactly is making their symptoms worse and how they can fix it from the root. So here's what they shared. They have been dealing with GERD symptoms for 4 years, but things got worse after a recent flare-up. They tried multiple meds, Rabeprozole, then omeprazole, but symptoms came back worse after some initial relief. And now they're experiencing chest pressure, belching, nausea, hoarseness in the throat, shortness of breath, and stabbing pain in the stomach. They said they're doing everything right. They're not drinking, not laying down after meals, avoiding caffeine, and eating clean. Their diet includes avocado toast with eggs, white rice with broccoli and beef or chicken, nut butter smoothies, apples and bananas for snacks, and poke bowls, which I believe are just like fish bowls, raw fish bowls. So here is what's actually making your symptoms worse and how to fix it. So it sounds like you're avoiding trigger foods, which is great, right? The chocolate, the alcohol, the spicy foods, the caffeine, these things cause it to be worse, right? But we got to take a step back and realize that these aren't the root cause of your acid reflux. These aren't the reason you have acid reflux, okay? These are just a reflection of having, poor digestion and acid reflux. These are just the effect, okay? And because these are foods in nature, we're supposed to be digesting these foods. Spicy foods, there's spicy peppers in nature. Chocolate comes from the cacao fruit. We're supposed to be able to eat that. These trigger foods that make these flare-ups worse and stuff are just a reflection of poor digestion. The reason we have poor digestion or weak or low stomach acid is because if you're out here in the Western world, most of your diet has been a cooked food based diet, okay? The reason cooked food has weakened or lowered your stomach acid, and by the way, your stomach acid is responsible for breaking down your food, okay? So when you don't have strong stomach acid, your food doesn't get broken down efficiently, and this causes undigested waste, and this undigested waste sits in your stomach and it ferments and it causes gas, and this gas weakens your lower esophageal sphincter muscle, which is a muscle responsible for keeping stomach acid down. So it weakens this muscle and rises up your esophagus and causes this chest pressure and heart pressure and even the sourness, the acid tasting in your throat, okay? So the reason we have weak or low stomach acid is because we've been eating, from years of eating cooked food, okay? Now, why is cooked food causing this? So cooked food is very dehydrating, okay? This is why we feel the need to drink water with or right after our meals. Is because there's no water content in our food, and this is how we're supposed to be getting hydrated, is through our food, okay? Our ancestors weren't walking around with just gallons of, plastic jugs of water and had, 100% access to water at all times, okay? They had to hydrate through their food, okay? And the only foods that are hydrating are fruits, fresh whole fruits, vegetables, and leafy greens, okay? These are the only foods that are hydrating, okay? And we are water-based beings. We're 60 to 70% water, okay? And our diet should be a reflection of who we are, okay? It should be water-based, and our cells get charged by the sun. This is how we, regulate our hormones, put the body in homeostasis. This is how we get energy, okay? Creates mitochondria in the body and creates energy to our cells, okay? So our food should be sun charged, just like us, and hydrating. Also, it should be enzyme rich, okay? Fresh fruits, leafy greens, and vegetables all have digestive enzymes in it. Now, these enzymes are responsible for pairing with your stomach acid to help it break down your food all the way so that none of it turns into undigested waste. So when our food doesn't have these enzymes in it, like I said, fresh fruits, vegetables, whole fresh vegetables, and leafy greens are the only foods with these digestive enzymes in it. As soon as we take that bell pepper or zucchini and we cook it right after the sun has cooked it, because the sun cooks our food perfectly for our digestion, okay? It's got the perfect amount of water content in it, minerals in it, fiber in it, enzymes in it, hydration, all of this, okay? And as soon as we put it into a boiler, put it into a toaster, put it into a, an oven or a fryer, we are destroying the life out of it. We're destroying the hydration out of it, the enzymes out of it, the fiber out of it. So now it's just kind of empty, dead calories. It's just for taste, okay? And it doesn't satiate us as much. Going back to the cooked food, most of us have been eating a cooked food-based diet in it. Now, guess what cooked food doesn't have in it? Digestive enzymes and hydration, okay? And this is what our digestion was designed to digest. So because these cooked foods have no hydration and no enzymes in it, for years our body has been having to overcompensate and overproduce our stomach acid to break down these foods that have no enzymes in it and no hydration, okay? They're very dense and dry and dehydrating and, hard to digest, okay? So these require unnatural excess amounts of stomach acid to break down. So over time, your stomach having to overproduce and overcompensate for no enzymes and no hydration to help, break stuff down and lubricate your colon, this wears your stomach acid out. Now it is low or weak, okay? This is why you have weak stomach acid in the first place. So even though you're eating clean, healthier than a lot of other people, the oatmeal, the chicken and rice, these foods are still enzymeless and dehydrating, okay? So they're not healing your stomach. They're not healing foods, okay? This word healthy gets thrown around way too loosely, but for something to be healthy, it has to be healing. And the only foods that are healing to our body, to our digestion, are enzyme rich and water-based. They're hydrating. So these foods that you're eating are still requiring excess amounts of stomach acid that you just don't have. So and same with the fruit too. I see that you're making these nut butter smoothies. You said almond butter or peanut butter in your banana smoothies. Even the fruit can't be digested properly because you're mixing it with, I think you said almond or oat milk, okay? And we gotta be careful, okay? We gotta check our labels, check our ingredients. A lot of these plant milks contain oils and gums and fillers and preservatives in them that our stomach just wasn't designed to recognize, let alone digest, okay? Our digestion was made in nature and to be recognizing and digesting nature, okay? So these gums and these oils especially and these fillers are very hard for our stomach to recognize and break down fully, okay? They also require an excess unnatural amounts of stomach acid to break down. So I highly suggest just making your smoothies with water, okay? And fruit is best digested on an empty stomach by itself, especially sweet fruit. Sweet fruit best digested in the mornings without anything else, just sweet fruit, okay? You don't want to be mixing fruit with nuts or cooked food or anything like that. This is poor food combination and, just kind of jacks your system all up, okay? Fruit is very hydrating and juicy and just best digested on an empty stomach. Now think about putting some almond butter in your stomach, really thick, very dehydrating, okay? And then some blueberries after that. Now the blueberries have to try and make their way through this thick, dense nut butter, right? This is causing fermentation, okay? When the sweet fruit is mixing with any other fruit, this causes that fermentation and this causes more acid reflux flare-ups. If you would like some guidance on how to implement more hydrating and enzyme-rich foods into your diet, you can check out my free gut healing solution book in the description. And to address the medications or the PPIs, these are actually weakening your stomach acid even more, okay? They're actually shutting down your stomach acid. These are not going to fix the root cause of your problem, okay? These are just, I don't even want to call the PPIs as managing your symptoms because Yeah, you might not feel flare-ups on the PPIs because they're breaking down your food properly and, not causing any undigested waste, turning into fermentation and turning into these flare-ups and chest pressure and stuff like that. But without them, your body can't survive on its own. So we need to wean off of these PPIs, but the way to do it is just to start implementing more hydrating, enzyme-rich fruits and vegetables and leafy greens into your diet, and to get off of these dense dehydrating foods like the rice and the oatmeal and the nut butters and stuff like this. So I'd honestly suggest just a diet reset, okay? Start transitioning your body off of these cooked foods gradually, okay? And as you're doing this, start implementing more, fruit breakfasts, okay? Definitely keep that fruit for breakfast on an empty stomach. No nut butters in it, okay? And no almond milk or oat milk or plant milks, just little water to blend it all. And when you do have cooked food, as you're transitioning off of the cooked foods, make sure there's no oil in it, preferably just steamed veggies and raw veggies and things like this, steamed sweet potato, okay? And when you do have those cooked foods, pair them with hydrating, enzyme-rich, non-sweet fruits like cucumber slices, celery sticks, bell pepper slices, and leafy greens, okay? These are going to provide your body with the hydration that the cooked food doesn't have to help lubricate it all and break it down, and the digestive living enzymes that the cooked food doesn't have to help assist your stomach in breaking this stuff down all the way efficiently, so there's no undigested waste being formed and fermenting and causing these flare-ups. And as you start transitioning your body down off the cooked foods all the way, start implementing more leafy green, mixed greens, and cucumber noodle salads, okay? You can look up raw vegan salad dressings, raw vegan, sauces, raw vegan dips, okay? These are going to provide you with those enzymes, okay? These enzymes, these living enzymes, are going to strengthen and rebalance your stomach acid back to normal, as well as the hydration in these foods. Yeah, get creative and have fun with this. Use your phone as a tool. Use the internet as a tool to just find recipes that are raw vegan, because these have these living digestive enzymes in it, and it has the hydration that your body needs, okay? We should be getting most, if not all, our hydration from our foods. I've been eating this diet for 5 years now, and I barely drink water, only when I have cooked food sometimes, because it dehydrates me. But pro tip for that, when you do have cooked food, don't drink any water with your meals, because this is actually diluting your stomach acid, and we need strong stomach acid to break down our food. So cut out drinking with and right after your meals, and instead try to hydrate 30 minutes before your meals, and wait at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to hydrate again after eating some solids, and replace that beverage with or right after your meals with those non-sweet hydrating fruits, cucumbers, celeries, bell peppers, leafy greens. And you can pair these non-sweet fruits with everything, okay? With avocado, the greens especially, with fats. And when you do eat nuts too, if you do have nuts, you want to really keep those fats down. They're very dense and dehydrating, and they're not healing for the body. You want to stay mostly on those fresh fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, stuff like this. But if you do have some raw walnuts or raw avocado or stuff like this, definitely pair it with some greens and these non-sweet hydrating fruits to provide your body with that hydration and these enzymes to help break it down efficiently. And when you do transition your body all the way off cooked foods, try to get in some green juices if you can. Cucumber juice, celery juice. You can add some apples and some ginger in there, or some parsley, okay? Kale, things like this. If you have a local juice bar or if you have a juicer at home, highly recommend getting in some juices. Get those digestive enzymes in, get that hydration flowing and lubricating through your colon to break down any undigested waste, to prevent it from fermenting and causing these flare-ups. This is pretty much exactly how I healed my 11 years of acid reflux under 60 days naturally. Just transitioning off of the cooked foods, off the processed foods, off the oils, okay, off the dense dehydrating foods, and really just looking at my foods of like, how hydrating is it, okay? And if it's hydrating, it most likely has those living digestive enzymes in it. So we want to go for whole, hydrating, plants. This is going to rebuild your stomach acid, rebalance it, and bring your digestion back to life. I hope this video has brought you massive value in your healing journey. I guarantee that it will work because nature does not make any mistakes, okay? At some point within our human generation, we just got stirred off the path of nature, and now we're in this man-made land and getting all of our food from the grocery stores and stuff like that. Whereas, you know, a couple hundred years ago, we were getting all of our food in nature, okay? We were coexisting with nature, growing all of our food, picking all of our food in the sun, very connected to nature, and now we're not, okay? We're eating all of these plastic bagged and boxed foods that aren't living, okay? They don't ever rot. These frozen meals, none of it is living, none of it has enzymes, which our digestion needs. None of it has hydration, okay? And this is why we get super dehydrated off these cooked foods. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out or drop a comment. Don't let this raw vegan lifestyle scare you, okay? It's got all the flavor that you need in it. All the textures and flavors that we crave can be made with nature, okay? We just got to take a step back and realize nature has got our back. And it might be a little uncomfortable at first eating some raw cucumbers or bell peppers or celery and leafy greens and stuff like this. But as you begin to implement them more into your diet little by little, your taste buds will gradually rewire into craving them because your taste buds reset. It takes about 7 to 14 days to reset them, as well as your gut bacteria, okay? Your gut bacteria is made out of every food that you feed it, okay? So when you get hungry, your taste buds and your gut bacteria start to think of the foods that you regularly feed it. So the more that you implement these raw foods into your diet, the more hydrated you will be, and the more that you will crave these foods naturally. And the more it's just night and day with your energy levels and your digestion levels and your brain fog and you know, mental clarity and your confidence and stuff like that. Eating a raw vegan diet, or just I don't even really like the word raw, just a sunfire diet, okay? These foods were cooked and ripened by the sun perfectly for our digestion versus eating the cooked food, okay? I don't ever really have cooked food nowadays, but when I do on a special occasion, I can instantly feel my digestion and my brain fog, my energy level, everything is just back down, okay? So, and I don't have acid reflux anymore when I do have cooked food and stuff, just to let you know. You can definitely still implement cooked food back into your diet after you've fully healed your acid reflux, aka strengthen and rebalance your stomach acid. But as you're trying to heal your digestion, you want to really get rid of just anything that's not hydrating or enzyme rich, okay? Because these are healing foods, okay? The animal products, the grains, these stuff just have no enzymes and no hydration. They're not healing foods, okay? So happy healing, family. Make sure you guys download that free gut healing solution book, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.